In this second part of video of PTS controller software development kits, we will see how the software is configured to work with PTS controller SDK. Software supplied with PTS controller SDK includes pumps software simulator, ATG probes software simulators, different utilities for PTS controller and configuration utility, rich set of API, application programming interfaces developed in different programming languages for PTS controller. Task of this part of the PTS controller SDK video is to show how it quickly starts working with PTS controller SDK and on the basis of it go to next steps in the developments. In this part we will show how to configure PTS controller, how to run pump simulator, and how to use one of the applications for operation with PTS controller SDK. First of all, we need to configure PTS controller to work with pump channels and ATG channels. In the first part of the hardware part, we saw how the connection is made and how the PTS controller leads when the hardware is connected. In this part of video, we again have the PTS controller nodes configured for any of the channels, so we will make all the configuration from the beginning. First of all, we have the PTS controller configuration utility, which allows configuration of PTS controller, pump channels and ATG channels. We open the COM port to which the cable coming from PC port of PTS controller is connected. And at once it reads the channels, pump channels of PTS controller. As in PTS controller SDK we have the first channel already coming pre-connected to interface converter boards. We will use it for connection with the pumps software simulator. We select the protocol for it. The pumps software simulator uses Unipump protocol. The baud rate is 9600, and we will connect 4 pumps of the pump simulator to the PTS controller. We activate 4 pumps and select that for each pump that it will be on channel 1 with address number 1 and addresses 2, 3, 4. Actually we could use any other addresses, but for easiness and for quick start we will use these addresses. We could use any other pumps and even any other of the channels. But it is made in the same way as we make it now for the first channel. So we selected the configuration and tried the firmware, the right button. It tells us that we need to configure the Unipump parameters correctly. For configuration of the parameters we have here the buttons P activated, in which we should make the correct configuration for the simulator. For the simulator we use the parameters for multiplier equal to 1 and for protocol type equal to extended Unipump protocol. Check that for all the pumps we have this value set and close after the end. Now we have the pump channel number 1 activated in PTS controller and it begins polling of the pump. At the moment we don't have the pump simulator running, and we need to configure the ATG channels also correctly. We can open the configuration of ATG channels. Here we have 3 ports for ATG connection. We will use user channel, which already comes pre-connected in PTS controller SDK. Select here protocol Uniprobe, baud rate 9600, and select, for example, we'll use 3 ATGs. Port user and address 1, 2, and 3. Click right configuration. In parameters for ATG systems, we will set that ATG polling timeout should be equal to 1, we can actually set default values. And each 1 second ATG probe will be pulled by the PTS controller. Here we set the default values are to be used for all the channels, all the ATG channels, and close it. Everything is configured. Now we have the PTS controller configured to work with pumps and to work with ATG systems. Close comport. Now we will run the Unipump dispenser simulator. It looks like the following. We have here the COM ports to which the output channel of interface converter is connected. So it communicates with PTS controller pump channel number 1. We should select its properties correctly. Communication settings. For Unipump we select 9600 in PTS controller. Pumps quantity, flow rates maximum during dispensing and flow rates in the end of dispensing, and also sets quantity of liters before the flow down valve is switched on, before the slow flow rate. Select skin for the simulator and select the quantity of digits after decimal separator in the simulator. We have here the default values, 2 digits. Click OK button and open the COM port. Now we see if everything is correctly connected. So we see that the pumps begin to be pulled by the PTS controller, which is indicated by red square in the top left corner of the each pump icon, which becomes green when the PTS controller pulls it. Also in the log we can see that the PTS controller is sending requests to the simulator. Now before working with the application, we will also run the probes simulator. Probe simulator is supplied also in structure of PTS controller SDK, and we will now start it. Go to port properties, select communication settings. Here we have baud rate 9600, other values as shown on this in the simulator. Quantity of probes we will select 3, and skin also the same as previously. Click OK button and open the COM port. If the ATG system is correctly connected and configured, we will see the red square in the top right corner of each ATG icon becoming green from red color to when the probe is being pulled by the PTS controller. COM port is a COM port where the user channel is connected from the PTS controller. About communication we can see in the log. We will set some values here. Temperature, volume liters, product usage, product volume, density, mass, height of tank. Actually we can simulate these values by running the presence simulation, so that we don't click ourselves, but the simulator itself worked as if there was something happening on the petrol station and tank. The values begin to be different. And now we will start application to show how the PTS controller works. We will select the application which we give in open source in languages of C# or VB.NET. We supply it in open source, so developers can change its codes as they need to their purposes. Here I have it's already launched. What I should do here is I should open the correct COM ports to which the PTS controller is connected. I believe it's COM11. Oh no, it's not COM11. It's COM number 10. COM number 10. I open it. Actually, I have here the 4 pumps already indicating. I'll close this one and leave pump simulator on the screen. I will make it less in sizes so that we could see both the simulator and application. Actually, here in the settings, we should select the fuel points which we want to view. For example, we have only one first PTS controller channel configured. In it we have 4 addresses, so we configure that for this pump icon we have pump 1 from the PTS controller. From second we have second, from third we have third, and so on. So we can actually make, for example, two same pumps indicating this and different pump icons. Let's select the first one. So for the first pump icon in the application, we use the first in the simulator. For seconds we use second, for third we use third, and so on. Now when we take up a nozzle, we will see it in the PTS controller, in the application. We can make settings, should set some price for nozzle 1, for nozzle 2, for example, for nozzle 3, and so on. Now we can now set these prices in the application, and the prices are set in the dispenser on the nozzle which we took up. Click OK button, and let's authorize the pump with some of the values. Before authorizing, let's see the settings of the application. In settings we have also 2 digits after decimal separator for all the values, and we have different modes of operation: manual mode of operation and preset mode of operation. Let's make its authorization is done by volume. Do not keep polling in ready states. Use general X command, use sync commands. Request totalizers, and let's authorize automatically at nozzle up. Also set here, for example, with some big volume. Dot authorize. Here we have the manual and preset modes. First we will see how it works in manual. In the preset modes. Preset modes means that we enter the volume to be dispensed or amount to be dispensed from the application. For example, 10 liters. We would like to authorize the pump with 10 liters. We click start button. For example, let's take down the null here. We entered 10 liters. Click start button. Here we have authorization, that the pump is authorized. Take up a nozzle. The pump is authorized with 10 liters, and we take the trigger on. The dispensing begin. We see here it's in application. The slow flow begin on the last liter, and the dispensing is finished. The application read totalizers. It is 8052 for amount and 1312 for volume. You can actually update them for any quantity of nozzles which we need For second nozzle we don't have any lasers yet. Close application, close this window, and also let's try to work in manual modes. Manual modes means that the nozzle is just taken up on the dispenser and the POS system should simply monitor it. We take up the nozzle. Already the application authorizes it and starts operation. So the POS application does not need anyone to sit in front of it. It can actually simply monitor operation and stop the activity on dispenser when required, or stop it when the nozzle is down. After each of the dispensing, the totalizers are automatically read. So in such a way, it is very simple to run the PTS controller SDK software and test its operation. Now we'll continue our tests not with pumps, but with ATG systems. Just to show, we'll just take up nozzle on any other. Let's take nozzle number 2. Nozzle number 2 selected. Let's set, for example, for nozzle number 2, price will be 750. 750. Let's dispense on 10 liters. 75 money units. Starts. The authorization went here, the engine is beginning to work, we press the trigger on and the dispensing starts. So it's quite simple to make the operation of the application simultaneously on different pumps. In such a way, developers can start their own developments on the based on the existing applications or APIs. It's only one of the applications. Other applications work in similar way. Now we will stop playing with pumps. Let's speak about ATG systems. We go to tab ATG measurement data, on which we have the ATGs indicated. The same as pumps, we configure each of the ATGs to real ATGs in the PTS controller. We have a channel user, address number 1, and height, for example, will be 3500. Select. Millimeters. Okay, now we have the application working. The probes are being pulled by the PTS controller, and now we see their values indicated in the application. Let's make it a bit closed. Change some values here. Here we set to 415 and see the same values in the simulator, in the application. Water height 140 millimeters, temperature 10 degrees, and so on. Of course, we can make the ATG system disconnected, and it will not be accounted anymore by the PTS controller, and in some seconds we will see that the probe became not disabled in the POS application. several attempts to pull this ATG system in the by PTS controller. Here it became not available because it is not connected. We connected again, and the values will be again shown by the PTS controller. Okay, we can change play visits to any value we need, or set here the simulation so that the values were changed automatically to some other values, and it will be displayed in the pulse application. In such a way, it is simple to make the PTS controller SDK software operates. So in these two videos we made instruction on connection of the hardware of PTS controller SDK and also configuration of PTS controller SDK software. Of course, there are plenty of other softwares available in structure of PTS controller SDK, and instructions on them are described together, coming together with PTS controller SDK description. On this video I need to say goodbye to you. In case of any questions, you can address to us with technical questions or requests which you could face. Thank you for watching.